It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? I hope you had a great weekend. I know you Buffalo Bills fans had a great weekend, and anybody that was praying and rooting for the young brother, former player, I guess he's still under contract for the Buffalo Bills, Omari Harwick and his family. Man, it was a great weekend, a great Sunday, and I got some great news about him. So I come to you live, the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. So let me start it off. I was just talking about Omari Harwick. So Damar's safety, defensive back for the Buffalo Bills, a week ago tonight, he literally died on the field. It was a nationally televised Monday night football game. The Buffalo Bills in Cincinnati playing the Cincinnati Bengals. He went in after he basically was making a tackle, and the receiver kind of put his helmet like in the guy's face, trying to, like making a football play. Hey, I'm trying to run this guy over. I'm trying to get an extra yard. Totally clean, legal football play you would see 200 times like a weekend in any game. Guys trying to get some extra yards. Offensive receiver. Defensive back is trying to stop him. And the offensive receiver put his head not down, but just forward and leaned in and say, okay, I'm going to see if I can knock this guy back. So anyway, Omari Harwick, after the tackle, went into cardiac arrest. His heart stopped right there on the field. He technically he died. It took them 9 minutes to revive him, to resuscitate him. They got him to the hospital. He went into cardiac arrest again, or the term code, he coded again. So his heart stopped again. They had to resuscitate him again. And he is now back home in Buffalo. So he was dismissed from the hospital, and he is back home in Buffalo. Man, don't tell me God is not awesome. Now, for those who don't believe in the power of prayer, I respect you. Maybe you believe in the power of positive thinking, positivity, whatever it is. But for those of us that believe in the power of prayer, Omari Harwick is literally living proof, because he was literally brought back from the dead right there on a football field in front of nearly 24 million people who was watching the game live. And then yesterday, his team, the first game since last Monday, the very first play of the game, a teammate of Omari Harwick returned a kickoff 96 yards. The very first play of the game, the Buffalo Bills scored a touchdown on a kick return. And then the same player scored in the second half of the game, scored a second touchdown on another kick return. And so, wait, this is where it really gets interesting. The last time that the Buffalo Bills had a player return a kickoff for a touchdown was 3 years ago and 3 days ago on Sunday. Omari Harwick's number is number 3. Some things you just can't explain, but God can. But I digress. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a televangelist. So this is not, I'm not asking for any donations. This is not a televangelical show. Now, I'm not Joel Osteen or Creflo Dollar. Nobody like that. But I do believe in the power of prayer. And like I said, Omari Harwick, he is living proof. So we're so excited that this young man is on the road to recovery. Don't expect him to play in the National Football League again. And I'm sure he would like to. And I'm sure he wants to. And he's only 24, but he's got DeMar, you got your whole life ahead of you, man. And I know you're gonna feel good and you're gonna feel strong. And I want you to be happy, but I want you to be healthy, and I want you to stick around for a long time. And I'm sure your mom and dad are having conversations. At the end of the day, here's the thing. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be his choice. Because the bottom line is the bottom line. And there are 32 owners. And these guys, their number one priority is money. And there's a significant number of them that are racist. I'm just going to tell it like it is. It's a fact. They get mad. They're watching. How could you call them racist? Well, just binge watch some of my back episodes. Okay? So I'm not going to go into don't worry. We'll have that conversation again if you want to. But the bottom line is there's no owner that's going to allow any general manager or president to give DeMar a contract for fear that it could happen again, for fear that he may not survive, for fear that his family could sue one of these owners for damn near all of their money. Just a lot of things that go into it. Because at the end of the day, these owners, they look at these players basically like cattle. And that's a fact. We talked about that. Just go back and binge watch Friday's show. They don't see the humanity in these young men. They don't. When they first draft them, they treat them like cattle. They measure them. Just go back and watch Friday's show, literally. Like these draft camps on the draft, before what you see on TV, where they have to stand around in their drawers and they measure basically their hand size, everything, their neck size, their head size, their feet. They measure everything physically about these guys. Kind of reminds you of what happened during slavery, like on an auction block when they would literally have enslaved people stand up and they would measure them and have them look at their teeth and look in their mouth and measure their hands. Just a fact. I mean, it's just a fact. But the most important thing is that he has won. One of the doctors said when DeMar Hamlin finally woke up last week, he said DeMar couldn't speak. He was on a ventilator. And he was able to write down on a sheet of paper, did my team, did we win? And one of the doctors wrote back, yes, DeMar, you won. You won the game of life. And the fact that that young man is back home with his family in Buffalo, literally a week ago tonight, he literally died on the football field and was resuscitated, was revived. That was an act of God, and God using people like the assistant trainer, working through them and their skills, to act quickly to revive DeMar and bring him back. The assistant trainer and the entire medical staff for the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, and then the doctors at the hospital, at the University of Cincinnati Hospital, which was a couple blocks away. So that's really the best news. I mean, there's a part of me, the dad of me, I don't even want this young man to play. Even though I know I didn't play in the NFL. I had NFL caliber talent. I did play semi-pro football for one full season, and I quit in the middle of the other season because I got a chance to be on the radio in Chicago. I literally just walked away. Starting position as a wide receiver, something I had dreamed about, but I've dreamed about being on radio and television, I guess more so than that. But I digress. I want DeMar to be healthy. I want him to be happy and live his dream. But we are allowed to have multiple dreams. Nowhere is it written where you can only have one dream. God never said you could only have one dream. Not at all. So, happy birthday to my Capricorn, celebrating a birthday today, actor Omari Harwick, who actually was an excellent football player. He played at the University of Georgia, the Bulldogs, which are playing tonight. The College Football National Championship game out in Los Angeles. SoFi Stadium. The University of Georgia Bulldogs, and Texas Christian University, or TCU, playing tonight in a couple hours. So Omari played for the Georgia Bulldogs in college, tried out, I believe, for the San Diego Chargers before they moved to Los Angeles, which that was only a couple years ago. Became an actor, and I think a lot of folks know him. If you are a fan of the TV show on Starz, cable TV show, Power, Ghost, the legendary character Ghost from the hit TV show on cable, Power, Omari Harwick is 49 today. Shout out to my man repping the south side of Chicago, one of the funniest dudes on the planet. He is killing the game. His comedy specials. He was a star on the TV show Blackish. I'm talking about my man Deon Cole with the Old Spice commercials. He is securing the bags. And I'm not. Shout out to you, Deon, my brother. Man, I'm proud of you, man. You were repping, killing the game, doing your thing. Man, I remember when you first started hitting the circuits and the open mics and doing your thing. Bernie Mac started off the same way, doing open mics, being the host and the MC down at the legendary Cotton Club, no longer open down there on South Michigan Avenue. Deon Cole is 51 today. Happy birthday, Deon. Got to get you on the show, brother. And he's a DJ. He's a house music DJ on top of it. But he's from the Chi. That's the home, the birthplace of house music, Chicago, at a club called The Warehouse. Rest in peace, power and paradise to the legendary Frankie Knuckles. That's where it all began. The birthplace of house music at a club called The Warehouse. Hence the term house. For warehouse music, house music. That's where it came from. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Google the birthplace of house music, Chicago, 1979, 1980, Frankie Knuckles, The Warehouse Club. There you go. There's your lesson for today. Dancehall rapper, my man, Sean Paul. Sean Paul is the big nickel today. 50. Happy birthday, Sean Paul. And the legendary Matthew Knowles, former manager for Destiny's Child, former manager for Beyonce and Solange Knowles. So Matthew Knowles is 71 today. Happy birthday to Matthew Knowles. All my Capricorns celebrating a birthday out there today. If you celebrate or you celebrated over the weekend, happy birthday to you. Like Heavy D said in the song, got nothing but love for you, baby. Hello, mother. How's my mother doing? How you doing? So, now listen. So, this is going to be really, man, this week is going to be awesome. So, I got a lot of big news, so let me share with you. So, how many of you all remember a guy, speaking of Chicago, from the west side, moved out to the west coast, so he was on the west side of Chicago, then he moved to the west side of the country when he's out there in L.A., that whole L.A. scene, Compton, kicking it with Death Row Records. Danny Boy, one of the first artists that was signed to Death Row Records. Danny Boy's got a brand new song, and I got a video coming, and I'm excited. Can't wait to get him on the show. He is going to be my guest Thursday. We're talking about his new song, and I'm supposed to have his new video. So if you were a fan of Danny Boy, the brother can flat out sing. He's going to be my guest on this Thursday. And speaking of singers and singers, so Wednesday I'm going to have a panel discussion. So you may have heard Rolling Stone magazine came out with this list, their latest list, the 200 greatest singers of all time. Now, they came out with a list and said, well, we got a list of the 200 greatest singers, but we don't mean the 200 greatest voices. Huh? You got a list of the 200 greatest singers, but not necessarily the 200 greatest singing voices? Okay. All right. Because they got this criteria. They had a whole bunch of folks that voted, and it was like, well, the impact that, they may have had originality, and I guess the impact they had on the music industry. Look, I ain't here promoting Rolling Stone because it's a bogus list. All right, listen, I'm just going to give you an example of the list. Because now keep in mind, we're talking about, they said singers, not entertainers, singers. The 200 greatest singers of all time. So, on their list, Beyonce, and I know, look, yeah, anybody watching this show, including the Beehive, so y'all can trip if you want to, but here's the thing. Look, everybody and anybody that knows me, you've been watching this show, I absolutely adore, I love Beyonce. She is a force of nature. She is one of the greatest entertainers, period, male or female of all time. I rank her right there. Janet, I'm putting Janet right there at the top, but Beyonce's right there. Tina Turner, you could put them like the holy trinity of especially female performers and entertainers. Janet, Beyonce, and Tina Turner. So really, Tina really opened the door, and then Janet just took it to her brother MJ, Michael Jackson level. But Beyonce, boom, like grabbed that baton, and she is right there on the stage with them sisters as a performer. But Rolling Stone has Beyonce as the eighth greatest singer of all time. Okay? But they have Mahalia Jackson. And if you don't know who Mahalia Jackson is, Google her name. No question, the greatest gospel singer ever. As a matter of fact, there's so many R&B, because name any great R&B singer, female or male. I guarantee you, from Whitney on down, they started off singing in the church. All of them. Aretha, Whitney, we can go new school, you can go Jennifer Hudson, there's so many, Teddy Pendergrass, I could go on and on and on and on. Started off, Sam Cooke, started off singing in the church. And Mahalia, so many women especially, listen, okay, Google Aretha. Probably her biggest influence, vocally, Mahalia Jackson. So, Rolling Stone has Beyonce as the 8th greatest singer, and Mahalia Jackson as the 28th greatest singer. Got Luther at 31. Okay, I don't know about y'all. I don't know anybody's list that would have Beyonce as a better singer than Mahalia Jackson or Luther. I'm just saying. Or they got Anita Baker at 92. That's all. I don't think I need to say anything else. So they have hold on. Aaliyah comes in at 40. Now you know I have love for Aaliyah. As a matter of fact, I had Barry Hankerson talking about that album that they released last year around this time. I had him on the show talking about Aaliyah. Aaliyah is rated the 40th greatest singer of all time. But Teddy Pendergrass is rated 42. Patti LaBelle is 74. And Anita Baker is 96. I love Aaliyah. Rest in peace, power in paradise. But I guarantee you, there's nobody. Aaliyah wouldn't even, if Aaliyah was here alive today, Aaliyah would say, stop. I'm not a better singer than Patti LaBelle. Or Anita Baker. Or Teddy Pendergrass? Come on, y'all. Stop. Stop with the nonsense. So I have put together a panel. And one of the people who's going to be on the panel, I wish I could get her on camera with me, but she is going to give me her list. She's been working on it. Is my mother, who is seen, who got to see Mahalia Jackson sing. I don't know many times, but I'm pretty confident she actually got a chance to see her perform live. I know multiple times on television, but got to see her perform live. She's witnessed some of the greatest singers of all time, especially in the era back in the 60s. Maybe like even, I don't know, maybe like the late 50s, definitely all throughout the 60s. Sam Cooke, who's from Chicago, Smokey Robinson's from Detroit. So she got a chance to see all these people perform. Many of them, she got the chance to see them perform live. She's met some on occasion. So, and then I have Sean Dolby, who's one of the hottest producers in America right now. Producing the R&B, hip-hop, Southern Soul. As a matter of fact, Marcus Allen's song, that's the big hit that I play, that you see me play the video here on the show. He produced that. He's produced some other songs on Marcus Allen's. Got some Southern Soul joints that are fire that he's produced. And a young lady who's been a guest named Black Diamond, lead singer of the Black Diamond Band, who has a brand new single out that she was on, I guess about maybe 2 months ago, talking about the release of her new single. She's got a video for the new single that should be out by the end of January, which we will debut right here. So it's going to be, you don't want to miss this. And feel free, if you'd like, you can leave me a message right here on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel, or you can just send it to my Gmail, genojoneshow@gmail. Give me your list. You don't have to give me 200. You give me your top 25 or top 50. Or if you want to do 100, you can. I'll read some of these on the show. So just in case you, and I'll just give you an example for now, because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have a panel discussion. So Wednesday's entire show. So we're gonna come up with the real 100. I'm not even gonna do 200. I don't think I'm gonna do 200. I at least do the real 100 greatest singers of all time. Well, we might do 200, but we're gonna clean up this mess that Rolling Stone created. Sorry, Beehive. We love Beyonce. One of the greatest performers all time. Now, she would be even higher than 8th. If we talking about the greatest performers of all time, we put her higher than 8. Michael Jackson, Prince, Janet, Beyonce. Some folks will have Beyonce, Janet. Fine, we can have that conversation right there. Absolutely. Got to put James Brown right there too. But come on now. Singer? Ahead of Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, ahead of Mahalia Jackson. That's all you need to know. Ahead of Mahalia Jackson. Luther ahead of Mahalia Jackson and Luther. Okay. Come on, Rolling Stone. Do better. And we're not just picking on Beyonce, because we got some other ones but that's the one that kind of jumped out at everybody's like, hold on. Run that by me again. They got Aretha number 1, Whitney number 2, Sam Cooke number 3. I would go Whitney 1, Aretha 2. Or I could create a list and put Mahalia Jackson 1, Whitney 2, Aretha 3. Sam Cooke. They had, I know. Minnie Riperton, 65. David Ruffin, 66. So come on now. Stop. You can't have Beyonce at 8 and Minnie Riperton at 65. Stop, y'all. Because we're going to do a greatest performer. Because after this, I'm going to do the greatest performer list. I'm giving you mine. Michael Jackson, Prince, I put Janet, Beyonce, then I got James Brown right in there. But Michael would definitely be number 1. I'd probably have, I think about it. Prince and James Brown, that's tough. Janet right there behind them, and then Beyonce. Because Janet would be my 1 and 2. If the greatest female performers, I'd have Janet, Beyonce, Tina Turner. And then, we can throw in, you can Janet, Beyonce, Tina Turner. Some would say Beyonce, Janet. Tina Turner. Then you can go ahead and throw your Madonnas in there because Madonna, back then she was a hell of a performer now. I would definitely put her top 10 female. But we're gonna clean this. We're gonna straighten this out. We're gonna get it right. We have the singers, and then later on we'll have the 100. I don't even have to. We may do like that. We may do the 100 greatest performers. Maybe the top 50. Start off maybe top But we'll fix that on Wednesday. So it's gonna be hot. But I'd love to hear from you too. So give me some feedback. Leave me a message here on my YouTube channel, or like I said, just the Geno Jones Show Gmail. Send me your list, and I'll share some of the list. Some of the people you have. Or maybe you agree. Maybe you'll put Beyonce higher than number 8. I know some of the Beehives, because some of y'all are young and you ain't really like Mahalia Jackson. But just Google. And the great thing about YouTube, and even though the film and the audio is not the best, it's not going to be the sound quality. It's not going to be the same because they didn't have the technology. But trust me. Talk to your grandma. Talk to Big Mama. Or talk to some of your moms. Google Mahalia Jackson. And then they had Mavis Staples. That was another one that was offensive. She was like in the hundreds, I think, somewhere. I got to go back. I got to put her on there too. So we'll go over this. Go all over it on Wednesday. I'm really excited to do this show. All right. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Remember, I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes, and tell everybody you know to subscribe, share, and binge watch all my back episodes. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Within the next 90 days, we are going to be moving into some brand new studios. I'm excited. So we are working on getting some new equipment and moving into some brand new studios. So the show will might be on hiatus for about a week. Hopefully no longer than a weekend. But because this is a new studio, everything being just a whole new studio, new everything, some more adding equipment. Just when you got to wire a new studio, that's really involved. So the show may be on hiatus. So it'll be the best of. You'll get a chance to catch up and binge watch them episodes, and we'll come back in our brand new studios. It's going to be really, really exciting. And I can't wait. That'll be within the next 90 days. We'll keep you posted. All right. Until Tuesday, 6:30 p.m., the next live edition, go back and binge watch. If you missed some of this episode, or go back and watch Friday's show. Because we really talked about how the NFL, they do these plays, not just when I say the brothers, I don't mean just the black players. The brothers, it's because it is a brotherhood. Black, white, Hispanic. Because the thing about DeMar Hamlin, all the players, they understand, they will tell you it is a brotherhood. Very few people are talented enough and they're talented people to still and get the opportunity for it. A lot of different reasons to play at that level. The top 1% of athletes on the planet are good enough to play in a league. You got 50, 30, you got less than 6,000 people out of 6-7 billion people who are athletically gifted enough to play at that level. So go back and check out Friday's show. All right, we'll see you live Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Thank you for watching. As always, pray for peace. All right? And I'll be praying for you. You can do the same. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.